Alright, y'all, good morning. Welcome back to day 49 on the Appalachian Trail. Alright, they're still sleeping there, so I'm just gonna pack up quietly. My ride should be here in about an hour and a half, so I might just hang out to the library till they show up. Alright, I'm here in the library now, just hanging out. They got pretty good Wi-Fi, so just having a good time and waiting for my ride. Alright, made it back to where we left off, Petite's Gap. Just got a small 1.5 mile uphill, and then after that I got like 9 miles of downhill back towards Glasgow. And then from there, I'm not sure how far I'm gonna go. Super late start, it's almost 11. So I'll probably try to make it to a shelter because this whole week is gonna be very rainy. And yeah, just gonna go by feel like always. All right, we're coming up on James River Bridge. It's almost 1,000 feet long, and it's the longest bridge on the Appalachian Trail.
All right, I think I'm gonna set up camp here. There's plenty of space over there in this brush, and then even got a little makeshift fire pit here, but it's way too hot to use that. Oh, man. Just using the liner tonight because it's been so hot lately, but I am keeping my sleeping bag right here and out next to the tent, so if I get cold I can just grab it real quick. I had to carry a bunch of water up here to camp because I knew there wasn't going to be a water source nearby, so I carried, let's see, about 140 ounces of water, so basically a gallon plus a normal sized water bottle. Didn't feel too great. For dinner we're having the other half of that backcountry bison meal I've saved from 2 nights ago, I think. So I'm gonna do that, and then afterwards I'm gonna make some more ramen in the same bag. All right, it's ready. Now the sun's gonna set on the other side of the mountain tonight, but luckily that means we should get a beautiful sunrise tomorrow morning. Really looking forward to that. All right, since I got decent time here, I'm going to do some more question and answer. Dustin Schroeder-02 asked, what's one thing you wish you brought / can't get now that you didn't? Honestly, nothing really comes to mind. I thought about bringing my camp chair, but I just didn't want to carry an extra pound, 2,000 miles. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I've gotten everything I really need. There's a few things I picked up, like the pack towel, and I can't even remember all what else. But yeah, I really think I have everything I truly need. When it gets colder, I am going to have waffle bottoms, which is the same thing as this top here, but just leggings. I'm going to have those shipped to me just because it's going to get really cold. And when I'm up in the Whites and up in Maine, I'm gonna really want those. But yeah, other than that, I really feel like I have brought everything I needed. All right, Jennifer Collins 3171 asked, is the trail not for beginners? Do you need some kind of hiking experience? I mean, to do the whole trail, there's plenty of people that have through hiked the Appalachian Trail and never backpacked the day before in their life, and they pick it up as they go along, and the first few days, few weeks are pretty rough, but you essentially just kind of learn. You come out here, you figure out what works, you adjust some stuff, get rid of a bunch of gear for most people, get new gear. Certain sections are definitely harder. I've never done anything north, but apparently Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine are the toughest parts of the trail, so I mean, keep that in mind. I definitely wouldn't go up into the White Mountains as a beginner, but I mean, you could definitely do like small sections of the Appalachian Trail to learn and get adjusted to it. I think that's a really good idea. And again, with all the information on YouTube and TikTok and just all over social media, that's your best friend. Everything I learned out here is majority of everything I've learned when it comes to like ultra like backpacking and all the gear has been from YouTube. So, all right. Jamie Myers 3578 asked, question: did you treat your clothes with? I'm not even gonna try to pronounce these. Basically, 2 different chemicals for ticks. What do you do for ticks? Yeah, what do I do for ticks? I don't do DEET or any of the other tick repellent chemicals just because they're all pretty much tied to skin cancer. I know a lot of people are gonna say, oh, that's a myth, or oh, whatever, but I don't know. I think that stuff can be really harmful for you, so I stay away from it. I just do my tick checks religiously and a lot of prayer. All right, Nikki Dunn 9698 said you should try hiking naked at least. Okay, I'm not gonna finish that one. All right, JT Gold says, so the trail provides the sling, you put your food up so the bears don't get it. And he also asked, how much does food cost when you stock up the average? So I think what he's talking about is when I first started the trail, there's different, and in the Smokies too, they have those metal pulley systems. That's mainly a thing at the very start in Georgia. It's pretty well maintained, and then in the Smokies and certain areas they have bear boxes, but the overwhelming majority of the trail, unless you're staying at really maintained shelters, you're gonna have to do a bear hang, or you could be like 80% of the hikers out here and not hang your food and risk a bear stumbling up on you in the middle of the night. How much does food cost? My average resupply, just food, is probably between 100 150. Some of the outfitters are pretty expensive. The cheapest thing to do is to go into a grocery store like a Kroger or Walmart, or even Dollar General is pretty good. The outfitters, those can get pretty pricey, but it is what it is. All right, Brian Does Stuff 873 said, you have not once complained about feet hurting or shoes. Can you talk about your shoes and the fit? Do you like your shoes tight or loose? That is a big problem. My big problem is feet hurting after a short time. So I use the brand Ultra. I think they make the best trail running shoes ever. The model I use is the Olympus 5. It seems like every year or two they come out with a newer model. The Model 6 is currently out right now, which is good news for me because since I like the 5s, it usually makes the 5s like 20% off. When I was in Damascus is where I was, and I picked up these newer shoes. They were 20% off because they had the Ultra Olympus 6s there, which, if that's the only option, I would grab those because I'm sure they overall are the same. It looked like the shoelaces were different and a few different features, but I tie them pretty tight during the day. They slowly loosen, and maybe I'll retie them a couple times, but I try to keep them as tight as I can without being too tight to where it causes pressure and pain in your ankle or foot bones. JT Gold again asked, have you seen much trail magic other than cookies from the Cookie Lady a few videos back? So to the best of my recollection, all the trail magic I've stumbled upon has just been people that have left stuff on trail. So a lot of water. In the past, maybe 100 miles back, there was a stretch right after Woods Hole Hostel where there was a lot of water laid out because it was a really dry area, which was super awesome. And then that Settlers Museum, y'all remember, they had the big totes just full of chips and sodas. But I haven't gotten to experience the classic trail magic. Like Fresh Ground Coffee is a really big one in Georgia. He has a van and he'll just drive around to different gaps and make coffee for hikers. There's a bunch of other ones that do tacos and whatever. People show up and give out pizza, beer, sodas. I haven't seen any of that. Reason being, I'm so far behind the bubble. If you don't know, the bubble, so to speak, the big group of hikers start anywhere from beginning of March till end of April. So those 2 months are really considered the bubble. Honestly, it's more mid-April. And so that group, they basically hit trail magic the entire, like they get it their whole hike, unless they go really slow. But if you stay in that bubble, you basically get trail magic seems like it can be every week. It just depends. But yeah, I since I got a late start, I knew it was something I wouldn't really get to experience, and that's fine. But that brings up another good point I wanted to mention. I've seen some very nice people commenting saying that they're going to be doing trail magic in their state, and they hope to see me when I pass through. And again, that's like, even thinking of me like that is just, it's super nice. So it's, yeah, very much appreciated. And yeah, if any of y'all want to support me or meet me or whatever along the way, shoot me a DM on Instagram. There's no post on it right now because I launched this channel and everything literally as I was on the trail. But yeah, if you send me a DM on Instagram, I'll see it. Nothing weird. I've already got some creepy DMs. Let's keep it classy, please. And yeah, if you want to support me in any way on trail or even whatever, shoot me a DM and I'll respond to it as quick as I can. And last questions, they're both from John Adam-U8Q. First question is why I decided to hike the Appalachian Trail, what inspired me, and then also asked the Refuge Foundation, how did I come up with that name? Is it a family pun or something? Why did I start the trail? I don't know. I've always been an outdoorsy kid. My family is not outdoorsy at all. Probably went camping once in my entire life. But I always had a calling to the outdoors, but it just never occurred to me that like camping was something I could just go do. And again, I don't like flexing the whole military thing, but when I was in the military, we would do like field training, which is essentially like camping, but you're playing pretend army and killing pretend bad guys and doing all this stupid stuff, carrying so much amount of weight, carrying a huge rifle, lugging it around, having to stay up all night, doing guard shifts and whatever. And I hated the stupid part of it, but I loved just the outside camping part of it. And so I decided I would just start camping on my own, and I just fell in love with it. When I was up in New York, I was only 3.5 hours from the Adirondacks, which is just a huge, beautiful national forest area and just all these amazing mountains. So I started learning how to backpack up there, found out about the Appalachian Trail and the idea of hiking from Georgia, which is where I'm from. I grew up only an hour and a half from Amicalola Falls, where the start of the trail is. And yeah, it's just the idea of hiking from there to all the way to Maine, over 2,000 miles, 4 to 6 months in the woods. I love the idea of that, and I just decided I was going to do it. And as far as the name of the Refuge Foundation, long story short, Refuge is kind of a family name for me. Some people might think it's cheesy, but my parents gave me and all my siblings a family name, and I won't go into it any more than that, but mine was Refuge, and the Refuge Foundation, I just like the way it sounded. So yeah, that's all there is to it. But yeah, that's all the questions I could find. I really appreciate everyone asking, and yeah, just keep them coming in the comments, and I'll answer them as soon as I can. Alright, doing a quick recap. Alright, we started at Petite Scap Shelter at mile 777.5. And we're now at an unnamed 10 site at mile 792.4. Total elevation ascent was 3,948 feet. Total descent was 3,740 feet. Total mileage was 14.9. So a decent day. I didn't get on trail till 11 o'clock, so I'll take it. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like, subscribe, comment. It's a great day, 48, 49. See you tomorrow.